It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them Mayegun today. Oh. Martinelli.
Diary politico.
You are welcome to the Temple of Truth. I am the GO of this temple. So, brethren, as you are taking your seats, remember this. Share the broadcast, okay? Like the broadcast. That is your own offering. Don't miss that. Yes. Olu ti sọnà sí Supreme Court o. Olu don set fire on the Supreme Court. For those who know this playbook very well, they are not surprised.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, Lórí YouTube, and yes,
I beg. Who said that? Kalu. Kalu is begging the justice in Chicago as you are watching this video right now. Please, Biko, Dakwejo, please, story along. You can release my certificate. Please don't release my gender. Don't release my record. Don't release other things that are going to show other things that we don't want to show other people. That is Kalu is begging right now. They say Kalu they meet bandits. The governor from the bandit state, Zamfara, is raising alarm. Kalu is meeting bandits behind my back, yo. I have no idea what he is doing or he's promising them. Oh, we have some of them tonight. Today again. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Okay, this is Mayegun live. I hope you have actually read the caption and the description of this broadcast. By the way, Martinelli said another banger, Baba eleyi ju banger lo. So we'll be taking it one after the other. Lagos Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiri, the Oyekrombe Itasi, Crumb Chasers, Ass Leakers, All Risers, Oman Abroad, Buhari Danes, Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, Buhari Shukus, Ngozi Haris, Nneka Haris, Bat Idiot, all the clans of Esai barbarians, the Bat Idiots. Some call you Agbadorians. You know one thing I love to remind you all the time when you come onto Mayegun's Diary Political to vent, simply because Mayegun will never stop, right, outing your criminal leaders. I love to remind you, we have come a very long way. You don't like me, I don't like you. But that will never change the truth that is always very constant. And at the same time, your rage, your rant, and every other bigoted nonsense that you have been so become a professional, right? For your own oppressors. They will never change the fact that these criminals don't mean well for Nigeria. You are a loser. The day you realize is the day your chains will be off. So if you come on to Mayegun's Diary Political to waste your time, to waste your data, only to come here to come and rant because of the Olori Brukus, those ones who are actually ruining your everything right now, it is a waste of time. You can possibly be doing something else, because tonight here is another update to you. And if you sit down there listening to Mayegun, knowing that the truth and everything Mayegun is going to talk about will kind of make you uncomfortable, I don't know why you are still sitting there. Inu abimoku kendun, inu oni dun for the next 3 hours. Here is another update to you, ladies and gentlemen. What is Sanusi Supreme Court too? For those who know Kalu very well, burning down buildings, okay, to further say, oh, we lost the evidence, we lost Kineko in the fire. When he was being tried for operating foreign bank account, which according to them was against their law in Nigeria, code of conduct. Kalu attended court appearance once. After that, they burned the entire building down. They said, the court is on fire. The documents have been kind of... So the case died a natural death. When late Chief Gani Faweyemi, when it was onto him to expose the fraud, the drug baron, Kalu, that he was at the time, when the case got so heated up, Kalu was governor of Lagos State. I don't know how many times Igboshere court and so many other courts across Lagos State got burnt. Where documents were like, oh, we lost the original document in fire. So people woke up this morning, Monday morning, Ojo Aje. That was when fire. This Supreme Court inside 2 offices. You see, Nigeria was supposed to have 22 Supreme Court justices. Okay. But for the past 4-5 years, majority of those justices of the Supreme Court, they have come to their retirement age and they started retiring. Meanwhile, Nigeria currently have about maybe 10 Supreme Court justices, shortage of 12. Here you get. Now, it's from these 10 justices that they are going to choose maybe 5 or 6 that are going to listen to Obi and Atiku's appeal. So they submitted, listen to this one. They were supposed to file in their appeal at a certain expected date. Okay? Now, what people are now suspecting is that this was supposed to be done in 2 weeks after the tribunal judgment. They had 2 weeks, 14 days to file an appeal at the Supreme Court. That is when it's going to be legal. Kalu, that is now being naked, stripped naked in America right now. It is so bad that they don't know how to handle whatever this whole thing is going to kind of become in the coming days, weeks, and months. They are worried and concerned. Okay? So, could the hand of the Supreme Court of Nigeria be shifted when the evidence are no longer incontrovertible, when it becomes like they cannot deny anymore? So, remember that part of the reasons why they thrown out the petitions of Atiku and Obi, according to the tribunal, was because of the time they filed the evidence, the time they filed the witnesses. So because the times were wrong, so therefore, they would not even look at any witness or any evidence. So some people are beginning to feel like the same scenario is about to play out in the Supreme Court. Okay? So when people started hearing fire, they were like, it is almost 2 weeks now to the deadline of filing your appeal. Sure, you know. So if fire start at the Supreme Court and they say the petition that Obi and Atiku submitted, they have burned, they've been destroyed. They have just 24 hours to submit another copy and make sure that it is paid. It is completely in the hand of the Supreme Court. It's nothing, no problem, no problem, no nothing. Don't worry about that. Then the Supreme Court will be delivering its judgment. And they will say, well, the problem is that we would have to back the tribunal because the time you submitted your petition, your appeal, has already lapsed. So what does that mean? The time to submit petition has kind of, I think it has just about a day or 2. So with this fire, what if they now turn around and start asking Atiku and Obi to resend their petition? And Atiku and Obi send the petition. And then when the Supreme Court will deliver its judgment and they will say, you didn't submit the petition in time. Just same way, the same tribunal issued 5 different judgments.
5 different orders against INEC, that INEC should hand over the electoral material, the election materials they used to the petitioners so that they can file their petition. 5 times INEC denied them. Maybe you were alive. Abi, did you know? Have you forgotten? That during that tribunal, it took them about 3-4 months before INEC could finally give them the electoral material, election material, where they gave them 18,088 blank results. Blank. INEC gave Obi and Atiku the evidence of the result they announced. Okay? And in that, out of 176,000 polling units results, 18,000 of them, it was blank, totally blank. Then 33,000 of the results were completely mutilated, unreadable. So by the time INEC gave that to them and they presented that to the courts as evidence, INEC opposed the result that they gave to Obi and Atiku. They were the ones who said, this is the results, election results. Where we said Thiefnubu scored 8 million. Where we said Atiku scored 6 million. Obi, 6 million. This is the result. Go and check it. Everything is there. But inside it, nearly 50,000 of them are unreadable. So you can't really say who scored what here in this polling unit and total, and you can't really read them. So when they presented the evidence in court that this is exhibit INEC gave us, so with INEC stamp everything, INEC objected. Objection, my lord. Why? But you were the one who gave them this. Yes, we gave it to them, but we don't want you to accept the evidence. We want you to reject the evidence. So when the judgment came, what happened? They said, the time you submitted the evidence, the time you file in your so and so is, is already over the time allowed by the Electoral Act. They did not mention the fact that they gave INEC 5 orders, 5 times to give the evidence, to give them this, you know what I mean? The tribunal didn't even mention it in their judgment. They just said, Peter Obi no present any evidence. Atiku could not present any evidence. The issue of certificate is not an issue. The issue that it was a drug trafficker that forfeited money in America is absolute nonsense. It doesn't really matter. That's a long time ago. The issue of, you remember, Abi, this is the pattern that is about to play out at the Supreme Court. And I think members of this temple, I want you to go and write it as part of your own, what do you call it? The prophecy. Go and write it down. That when they start quoting their Supreme Court judgments, it will likely come to, you did not submit the evidence in time. But let's flow with it right now. Fire, fire, fire. Monday morning, 2 justices of the Supreme Court caught fire. Surprisingly, this morning.
Don't mind them. No, we cause the war. I can't fight. The bango nyali ya. The car go ega. Kaka mwe via kia itombi via kati mndu bikuluti mre piusu.
The law. You see, when we tell you that Nigeria is a crime scene, sometimes some of these statements or so, they are so harsh. I understand. You know, when you say Nigeria is irredeemable, it's so absolute. And to so many people, like, why would you be so absolute about it? Like, if you are a great thinker or what have you, there must always be a way out. There must always be this or that. Don't say it that way. Nigeria is a crime scene where criminals are always rewarded. And the criminals who are already in Nigeria is already experiencing state capture right now. Do you understand? The Nigeria is experiencing state capture. Every institution that has already been kind of, already rubbished, they will completely be buried under these criminals. You're going to see it, okay? Don't worry. Shebi in Nigeria, you know how to kind of get used to abnormalities by normalizing abnormalities, Abi. You did it with Bokuwari. Yeah, you did it with Bokuwari. You adjusted and then adjusted. You know, they say, if you're chasing Nigerians, and you chase them enter the wall, and you expect them to turn around and turn back and say, well, where do you want me to go? Nigerians will make a hole inside that wall. And to them, that is being smart. Okay? So before you get into the wall and get them, they will make more holes and holes and holes until they will no longer be able to continue, and then baby. You understand? So, in a place whereby criminals can set buildings on fire to hide the evidence, the people that are so accustomed to setting buildings on fire, offices on fire, courts, imagine setting court on fire in America because you don't want them to see some evidence, or you don't want some certain justice, just to compromise the will of justice, and it's just going to look like a fire like that. Don't think I'm jumping the gun. I am actually speaking from experience. And most of the time when things like this happen, at first, when your instinct tells you that it's not an accident, Baba, believe your instincts, especially if you are from Nigeria. So they got this guy who is now talking like, no document is lost. Listen to this stuff.
Fighter. So what happened was just a normal, maybe electrical problem that resulted in the fire outbreak, and the staff were able to effectively douse it with the use of the fire extinguishers that are strategically placed in the Supreme Court. Every floor has a lot of fire extinguishers, and they were able to combat it effectively, and they put it off, so it could not even spread far before the firemen were able to come to also give their own support. That was all. That was what happened. Nothing more. So we thank God. Nothing happened. No life was lost. No life was lost. That is it.
But for maybe documents, bonds, do you have maybe like a backup or something?
Certainly we have them. We have the soft copies of all the documents that are there. So we have e-library here. So those are just hard copies, and the soft copies are still there, so they can still be. We can still replenish the bond library, which each chamber has a library.
Sorry, can you give us the name of the chamber, the owner of the chamber that got bonds?
I don't recall the.
Do you understand? That is how they always first come out to lie. And if you remember Nigeria very well, it is always electrical, and it will turn to more or less like a big inferno. Here you get electrical faults, and it started from sometimes if they want to destroy financial records to cover up corruption, so when they want to burn down government building, they can burn down the department that is keeping financial record. Okay, like they will say, oh, the entire finance bonds. People don't know the code. They will tell you it's electrical. Electrical will move from this room, burn this whole room. They didn't contain it. All right. Then you go to another one, and then you go to another one. Then you will see the government official, calm, cool, and collected, telling you there is no cause for alarm. No, there's no cause for alarm. It was still talking. Oh, here is another one. Oh.
And it was due to maybe electrical fault or so. And the staff were on ground to douse it immediately, because in Supreme Court, we don't joke with safety. All the floors are equipped with fire extinguishers, and those were the equipment that the staff were able to deploy immediately to douse the fire. And it only affected one chamber, and not 4, 5, or 10 as being peddled in social media still. So what was destroyed in that chamber are books, stationery, and other computer gadgets. And the books are replaceable because we have an e-library, we have the soft copies of the books, and also the hard copies could also be procured and supplied to the chamber. So it has nothing to do with the presidential election petition, as people are saying outside. So such issues of presidential election matters are not discussed in the chamber, inside the court, and the documents or books, whatever that has to do with it, are not kept in the chamber. Thank you very much.
Your name, sir?
Dr. Akonde Festus, Director of Press and Information, Supreme Court of Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And it was due to...
That's yes, Dr. Akonde Festus. You know, that was clear, Abi. Consider that as the first statement coming from that place. There will still be many more. It is Nigeria. But let's leave the Supreme Court for now. Since Mr. Festus already assured all of you that your appeal at the Supreme Court is not burnt and it's not affected, everything is fine. So write that down too, okay? That Mayegun said at a point, they will come back and say the period and the time of filing their appeal, somehow, a get a leg. Then you will now write it there that no, Mr. Festus said nothing like that is going to happen. Just put it down, all right? We'll go to America. Things they happen, or things they occur. Hey, this morning in Chicago, remember that last week Friday was when the Chicago State University were supposed to release everything they have on Thiefnubu, everything. Because Unawala too much. Unawala don't kind of led the entire university to almost depression. The past 6 months for the especially this last 2 months for Chicago State University has been possibly in their own history the worst period of time whereby they were dragged, if they have ever been dragged ever. Now everybody collected, staff here and there, you know, anyone that is associated with the Chicago State University, because a lot of Nigerians believe that Thiefnubu has been switching from between both Chicago State University, University of Chicago. He has been swinging in between. At a point, he said he was born in 1952. Then at another point, he said he was born in 1954. Okay? So all of these things, they have put the Chicago State University name at the front burner. And it wasn't for good reason. Okay? At a point, people were doing free PR for Chicago State University, that anybody when they look for Oluwole, who is looking for any fake diploma, degree, certificate in America, don't go too far. With $30, you can become a graduate of Chicago State University. It was really so bad for them that they had to lock all of their social media handles. They lock them. You can't comment, you can't share, you can't do anything because of this call. So last Friday was the day they were supposed to release everything. 4:30 a.m., 4:30 Daji, before Subui, before everybody woke up to go and pray, Subui in the morning, Thiefnubu's lawyers, they were already at the courthouse. Court that will not open until 9-10 o'clock. They were already there, 4:30 a.m. What were they doing? They wanted the court to stop the Chicago State University from releasing that document that morning. Because if they release that document, it's going to cause irreparable damages to Thiefnubu. Which kind of irreparable damages? What's they inside the document? What's they there? So the argument started the day after, on Saturday. Oh yeah, the judge was like, oh yeah, come and tell me why you think we shouldn't let them release the... So Kolu started begging them. I beg into your law, Emma Batemije. Fake result le baye mi je, ema baye mi je. Please. The reason is that I am now the president of the 200 million mumus in Nigeria. And they are currently trying to lay their hands on me if they can have that opportunity so that they can, everybody taking their own pound of flesh. Emma baye mi je. Don't give this guy. I say, why? So they now postpone till today. Baba, now today that the judge was supposed to give the judgment and say, oh yeah, release it or don't release it. Kolu can walk in with another guy. Then they happen, me one sheleo. Thiefnubu, is one kind alien that it is not just Nigerians that are going to realize later waiting they enter. The rest of the world are going to come and see that. How did this happen? No joke, but the journey towards all of that don't start. Kolu can they tell them in court today? That, my lord, okay, you can release my certificate. Tell the Chicago State University to release my certificate for Atiku. Well, I want you to block Chicago State University from releasing my gender. My manuscript have been a test script. Every other thing that has to do with my record, I don't want you to release them. What is he hiding? Now, we are still in the middle of that. Like, don't worry, my. Why? Would you say they shouldn't release your gender? Kilo nishik pelu gender. But a lot of discoveries have also happened, though. While everybody is still there trying to figure out, what is going on? What is wrong with him? Like, what are you trying to say? That Atiku and his team, they have discovered that the Bola Tinubu that went to Chicago State, Richard Daly College, as well as Chicago State University, na girl, American. She is not Nigerian. She's from Nigeria, but she's Nigerian American. Abi American Nigerian, whatever you want to call it. That's the record. But they don't want to release it to all of us. Move all of us, Siam. They wanted the school to release them so that they can then compare them with what they have and tell all of you that make Thiefnubu can tell you who him be. A complete career criminal who is now the president of Nigeria. Think about that. Then when we were still in court, where everybody still they do waiting be this. Even people will follow call lawyer come. They were there too, like Abaniloju Maisha. This man is a complete disgrace. So. Which waiting be this? This is why the people like Mayegu and all these people are always having something to say. What is wrong with Ashiwaju Awatole? Don't release my gender. We already know the gender of the Bola that went there. Now that inside that court, two of us can't decide that Mo just from the shock where everybody face. They just see there, they see the argue. And then we decided to just take a stroll, enter the hall. Baba, May October come fast too. Like say what thing go happen for October. They go do movie. You know what I mean? Like they will do a Netflix series in what FBI is planning to release. May I give you hints? From a very reliable source, inside that same America, they don't drop hints now. What to look for, what to expect from the FBI file that they want to release on Thiefnubu or the file they have on him. Okay? And we are not 100% sure if they are not going to redact some of them. But inside the FBI file, Baba, Amoda Sangolere happen there. Amoda Sangolere that came to America at the late 60s. And he was a drug runner. He was arrested, jailed for 5 years, deported back to Nigeria. Exactly. That's exactly what I did. I was like, deported back to Nigeria. Then figured out again, and he went back through Canada. From Canada to O'Hare Airport in Chicago with a new name, new identity, no past anymore, with Bola Tinubu. How? How did that happen? What happened? Is this a movie? Or is this something like some beer parlor room? No, be beer parlor room. In the FBI, whatever, that they are going to release from next month, they want to release 2,500 file document on Thiefnubu. Baba, waiting. One man, 2,500, and it is just what they plan to release at first batch. Some of you have been living in America 20 years, 30 years. I don't think FBI can have up to 2,500 files on you if you are not a real career criminal. So who was that Sangolere? Should the go ahead to come back near? The FBI knows the name. Now, if they begin to release all these documents and they started talking about Sangolere that was once in America, returned back to Nigeria, and then went through Canada, back to America, Chicago, that, do you know that Thiefnubu has served jail in America? This is part of what they're actually pushing out. And I'm like, Omo, Emi Osimbe. I quickly waka. Or say, I can't hear something and I will keep it away from you. Sangolere, we know Sangolere. This Sangolere we know is from Iragbiji. Not from America, no. And no deal. No deal. But why is it getting so ridiculous and ridiculous and ridiculous when it comes to Thiefnubu? When he can easily just come out and be honest and say, well, fine, now don't catch me. It's me. My name is Amoda Sangolere. Okay? But I changed my name, I changed my everything later to become this person. A lot of people will forgive him because they will just be like, but you should have told us now. Instead of putting us into this whole sort of a mirage, confusion, that even anybody can just wake up and just say, I know Sangolere when he was a baby. I know this. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just saved us all of that stress. But I don't think Thiefnubu is ready to save anybody any stress. Whatever it's going to take, he said, is on a mission. Until that mission is completed, is not going anywhere, and he will fight tooth and nail, everything we ain't going to use. So as the moment you enter court again, about problem me to ban court, another problem they wait inside court. You remember the scene at shock, sent us out of the courtroom. Say, how could he be asking people not to release his data about his sex and what I mean, right? Kilun Shele. Then we can't enter there and say, Etikbon Sangolere coming soon, in October. Go and get ready, So that kind of me I know deal. Ran back inside the courtroom. Now another shock we made there. Guess who we met? Another person called Olajide. I'm gonna look for that name again because I know say it's fake. Another fake. Okay. So there is this guy who came out and he said his name is Olajide. Where's his name again? Olajide Adeniji. Olajide Adeniji. Who be this? Is it Olajide Adeniji, Thiefnubu schoolmate in Chicago State University? Wow. Okay. Now, this is going to be interesting. Olajide Adeniji. Who you be? As some of the court boys in Nigeria will say, who goes you? Introduction, Mr. Olajide, sworn, kept under oath in America. And he said, hi, Olajide Adeniji, after having been first duly sworn upon oath, do hereby state that I am over 21 years of age, okay? that I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein and could competently testify thereto if called upon to do so. I attended Chicago State University, Chicago, Illinois from 1977 to 1979. When I graduated with a degree in business administration and accounting in 1979, I am familiar with Bola Tinubu, who is now the president of Nigeria. I am a student at Chicago State University from 1977 to 1979, and Bola Tinubu and I were in the same course of study. I also ran in a closely contested race against Bola Tinubu for the leadership of Accounting Society Club of the Department of Business Administration or Accounting. I recognize and know that the person who I attended Chicago State University with, Bola Tinubu, is the same person who is now the president of Nigeria. Pursuant to Ogaga, I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. Hey! Olajide Adeniji. So what did I do? First, I went back onto the yearbook of Chicago State University of 1979. There is no single Olajide Adeniji there. Remember the way that said they used to joke about Thiefnubu's accent on TVC a few days ago, that they went to the same school. So what I did next was, okay, let me go and search for Olajide Adeniji, somebody who went to school in America. In this day and time, trust me, they would have what is called the digital footprint, either by what I mean, by by the book, the author, or by somehow, if you are indeed who you said you are. The only two Adeniji, Olajide Adenijis that I found, one is dead, couldn't fit into that age. The second one was from Osun State. He contested for the position of PDP governorship. He contested PDP governorship primaries in 2018 in Osun State. That's the only Adeniji Olajide that I could kind of find when I was looking for all these digital footprints. Who be this person? What is his face? Now, so we sit down there and say, hey, some people ready to go to jail in order to defend this ex-Cobat. At least he's the president of Nigeria. Okay? You can lie so that he can get what he wants. After getting what he wants, and then they discover that you lied, then you go to jail, okay, for lying. But he's gotten whatever he wanted at the time, so whatever compensation they're going to give to him. This one. Now, so everybody felt like, Thiefnubu is desperate. The people around Thiefnubu, they are stupid people. And in their desperation, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. But you would think, with such mistakes that they will make, that should make them very vulnerable. And indeed, be their end, at least legally. No. I don't want you to get so carried away by all of this. Okay? Whatever it is, I want you to remember that we are talking about Nigeria here. And this is a Nigeria that has been captured by these criminals. They are the laws. What Thiefnubu is fighting for right now is called legitimacy and acceptance. But every time he put up that fight, it just gets so bad and worse and worse. But you will think that should have some repercussions. No, it won't. I don't think so. Nigerians will compensate them. They always have a sanctuary, which is the Nigeria, the contraption, where criminals are their leaders, where all abnormalities are always normal. I don't want you to forget that. But for the sake of our children, for the sake of the generations that are still coming, the ones that these criminals are always, one thing they said, if the story of the jungle, if animals were allowed to write the story of the jungle. You see all those heroic hunters that a lot of you see, you would have seen many of them as ordinary humans, coward in the face of death, but because now humans, they write the story of the jungle. So they can tell you how a man tamed the lion, how a man did this or that. And the old lions and the rest of them will be like, they won't let us tell our own story. That is exactly what Nigeria is. Criminals are the ones making laws. Lawbreakers are making laws. Okay? People who have, I'm talking about real career criminals are those who are executing laws and, indeed, running institutions. So, they are those who are going to write the nonsense in their own history book. How criminals are to be praised as heroes. They'll say our heroes past. To serve our fatherland. And then. Thank God I don't even remember the national anthem anymore. Sure, you get all your national pledge. I'm so happy that I don't remember them anymore. I can't even sing them like, you know what I mean? Because the criminals who are writing all this nonsense, they are feeding the generations after generation that they are the criminals who looted their future, the criminals, the rogues who destroyed the country that they are going to be born into. Those criminals are heroes. Those criminals are our saviors. So, like I said, knowing all of this is to help tell your own children the truth about these criminals. Okay? It is for you to help us raise a generation that is not slavish, generation that is not conditioned by these career criminals, or else we are doomed from generation to generation. But we know that the generation is actually here. That is going to be very different from those before them. And that is why we're having this battle, by the way. So yeah, career criminals are called honorable men and women in Nigeria. And they shouldn't be too shocking, because if those who love their oppressors, like I used to say, right, who love their oppressors differently, if they have not really remained consistent enablers, just maybe it could have been a little bit savaged than what you have right now. So yeah, Kalu didn't want them to release his detail. And he didn't want them to release his sex. He didn't want them to make the world know who he is, actually. And those around him, in their desperation, they are going to hand everything over to us unknowingly. Because now, it has now become something that a lot of people are now kind of like, who is the president of Nigeria? Who exactly is this guy? Kalu cannot face international media because of all of this. Okay? His handlers, they want to buy him legitimacy. They want to make him look like he's the Nelson Mandela from Nigeria. Is one other kind of hero or something anywhere. But he can't say all these things himself. He can't. Because if they should hold him anywhere and they start asking him, why did you transition in America? Like, you know what it is there, right? They said, did you transition? Why are you ashamed? Why do you not want to let people know that you transitioned from a girl to a boy? There is another discovery. We have found Bola Tinubu. Yes, we have found her. But that Bola Tinubu seems not to be the one that went to the Chicago State University, by the way. But it's actually another Bola Tinubu that has now been kind of, discovered. But we'll get to that when the time is right. But let's go a little bit further going forward. Sanusi the former emir of Kano, the man that accused Goodluck Egbere Jolantan Getch of mismanaging and losing or missing 20 billion US dollars. Remember? And it was because of this Sanusi alarm that so many people who have now come to know the politics of Nigeria better now, after this exposure and this disgrace and destruction that APC, Egbekegbe, finally represents. People didn't know then that Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, as they kind of all operate anyway, you know, they all acted like they are in their own little fiefdom for every opportunity or every position they control. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was being investigated for mismanaging the money that was over 200 billion naira at the time. Part of the accusation against him at the time was that he was doling out Nigeria Central Bank money like he was a politician, you know. He was donating money to schools, to this, to that, 1 billion naira, $200 million, this one, and all that. He was living like a royal prince, not like the central bank governor at the time. So somehow he got the wind that he was going to be removed. Not just removed, he was going to be arrested. So what happened? Sanusi turned to a whistleblower. A whistleblower. Goodluck Egbere Jolantan was already becoming the most hated man in the entire Nigeria at the time. In fact, it became a fashion, okay, that if you hated Jonathan, you are actually patriotic. Do you understand? Like, it was like a fashion then, like, and it was a darling before that time. Goodluck Egbere Jolantan was a darling of majority of Nigerians at the time. Now, it seems I'm digressing little, but I have to give you this background. So, when, meanwhile, they've already started looking into forming a sort of a united opposition to remove PDP and Jonathan. The Boko Haram was bombing here and there. Jonathan's men were like extravagant, so corrupt openly. They were like, you know what I mean? Like, it was obvious at the time. So Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was also one of those corrupt criminals, right? Frittering away the resources of that same government. But he didn't want to be held responsible. So he turned to a whistleblower. If the central bank governor of central bank of the country raises alarm to say the NNPC that is selling Nigeria crude oil, they have not remitted over $20 billion in the last so months. In fact, from what he's done his own calculation, and he discovered that if the money that should have been remitted by the NNPC to the central bank cover as proceeds from the crude oil, compared to what they have paid to the central bank, he believed that over $20 billion is missing. Hey! APC, Egbekegbe, they picked it up straight away. 20 billion. Do you know what 20 billion can do? Okay. So they now said, okay, come and explain how the 20 billion got missing. Do you understand? It was like, the calculation says between 18 billion and 20. Then he came back and he said, what is actually missing is 12 billion. So the 12 billion that NNPC didn't remit, okay, was automatically repackaged that Goodluck Egbere Jolantan, they have stolen $20 billion and they want to use the money for the 2015 elections. propaganda lanje. Hey! It's sold like akara, bread and akara, the fresh bread and akara. So many of you bought it. Can you imagine? 20 billion. So it started going back and forth, back and forth. To cut the long story short, it got removed. And APC, Egbekegbe, Kwakwansop and Co., they quickly grabbed him. And it happened at the same time when the Emir of Kano died. They just made him the Emir of Kano to protect him from Jonathan's government. So he became a kind of an advocate of a better Nigeria. Sanusi, this same Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, he became advocate of the better, prosperous Nigeria. He became a darling. That was how he got saved. He wasn't arrested. All the investigation against all his own mismanagement of money inside the Central Bank of Nigeria, all of that died. Jonathan couldn't do anything anymore. So he became Emir. The camp of APC, Egbekegbe, they started swelling and swelling. They wanted to save Nigeria. Nigeria needs change. Nigeria, blah, 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 blah. Now, fast forward to 2015. Bokwari became the president of Nigeria. And the Shege, Bansa, started. After 4 years, Sanusi don't get problem with the state governor. Remember, Kwakwansop was the governor, working to install Bokwari as APC government and remove Jonathan. And Kwakwansop made Sanusi Emir to protect him from Jonathan. So when Kwakwansop and APC, when they gained the power in 2015, and Jonathan, despite all the monumental rigging at the time, he said he realized that these guys were actually preparing for war, not election. And he said, if he had stayed, and they said it too, they said, if Jonathan had stayed and did not accept that defeat, they would have started a civil war in Nigeria. That was what brought Fulani terrorists to the borders of Nigeria. That's why I said, it may sound like I am digressing, but that is where I'm taking all of you on this. So Gandola became governor of Kano. Gandola was caught pocketing dollars. They kick back money from the government road contracts awarded to contractors. That was him collecting his own 10% from those contracts, and he got caught on tape. And it became a big news. He was supposed to be removed as governor and be tried as a criminal, okay? So everybody was talking. Sanusi self can't they talk. Here you get. Sanusi can't they talk, like the way he was talking as a central bank governor with Jonathan. Can't they hammer Gandola? It's a disgrace. It's a criminal. It's a this or that. You know what Gandola did? In 2019, they discovered that Sanusi, thinking he is smart, forgetting the fact that he is also swimming in the pool, the corrupt pool of those they call elites. All of this dirty elite that you have in Nigeria. Elites that cannot build good roads, that they themselves will drive on. Elites that cannot build a good housing for their own citizens to make the country beautiful. Elites that cannot provide electricity, leave you in the slum and the shanties. Elites that cannot build good schools for your children. Elites, Nigeria elites that cannot build good medical centers, hospitals for their own people. And they are the dirty, stinking elites that they have billions, they have money. But they are what? They are from the shithole country, a contraption, poverty capital of the world. Elites. So Gandola felt so insulted that see this thief, we will use our own political, because Gandola was deputy to Kwakwansop. This is Kwakwanso. So Kwakwanso handed over to Gandola. Trailer come past their middle. You know the story today, Abi. Anyway, they thought Gandola was going to, he believed that Gandola must lose that election in 2019. It worked against him. Gandola knew. He expected that Gandola would be kind of, removed and tried. That didn't happen. Gandola managed, to force that election in 2019 to a rerun so that he could properly rig it and get himself re-elected. Immediately, Gandola re-rigged himself in 2019. He just went straight for Sanusi. Oh yeah, come here. We're here. You dey mad, you. Now me you dey call thief, abi. You this born criminal. Born criminal, where we say we dey spend money, they buy you best shit where you dey put for that your head, they make you look like you be somebody. Come here, only. We have your record. At least this Kano state government is the one that is funding the what do you call it? The Emirates called the Kano Emir. Come here. The Ashemache, the Nokuno, the what do you call it? The irresponsibility, financial irresponsibility that would have led Jonathan to send you to jail. You, they abuse me, they call me thief. You, Sanusi. Now I'm going to kill you. Come here. We get your record. You have been spending, you don't marry another wife. You don't marry like 2 wives since we make you emir. And in the course of marrying them, you spend so amount of money. Emir, no, they spend this kind of money. Oh. Now we discover that you have been actually spending the money of this emirate. And we want you to account for the money. This is true story. Oh. I just wanted you to enjoy it. That's why I'm saying it this way. Oh. It really happened though. Come and explain all this money. This one says 1.2 billion. This one says 300 million naira. When you go to Saudi, what do you go do for Saudi? You the craze. Come here. They can't call Gandola. Calm down, oh. Calm down. There are many ways to kill a cat. Oh. Don't do this. Oh. A lot of people will not understand you. If you go for him, okay, they know you are coming for him. Now, at the end of the day, now you go lose. Oh. But we have many ways you can kill a cat. Okay? Just create more emirates. Break that emirate that is making him feel like he's one angel sent from Futajalon, Saudi Arabia. Break the whole thing. They can't break. They say, no, I have to remove him. I cannot just break the whole place. I have to remove him. I say, before you remove him, okay, just break the whole thing. Omo. Now the State House of Assembly come vote. Say, oh yeah, remove him. We don't want him as Emir anymore. Depose him. The same way he ran away from Abuja the day he was expected to be arrested. When Rotif me, Amechi, that is Ubima Judas Iscariot. You remember Amechi that time? They were all bodies, paddies. El Rufaya of Kaduna. They were the shining stars who want to come and save Nigeria from Jonathan, from PDP. Remember? It was the Ubima Judas Iscariot that drove the car to pick up Sanusi from airport too. Last, Isha, all of those dramas gave Nigeria the lifeless Maygad, Bokuwari, that now came to send Nigeria 40 years backward. Guess who said that? Same Sanusi. The guy is still walking about like he's an emir, by the way. He's always there trying to say, intellectual. You see this country? You see, you know what this country? This country has emporium. This country has Gungatom, a resources in the Republic of Korea. You know, there's something we have to do. When we lay our hands on Gugotom, the Gugotom can make this. He loved. The people like that. Oh, amazing. Listen to Emir. Oh, no nonsense. So, job men, career criminals, chancers. But to some of you, no, my good, don't talk like that. You know, Emir, Abori Ejini, they talk, they tell me, say, man, don't talk like that. Emir is different. She don't share for me. She don't buy me share ni. She mo bere opinion lórí Emir ni. Emir ko. Sultan ni. They are all the same. Somebody go dress, he go say,
Espiritun, Espiritun. They say na bishop. Any owo. Aberi daruni. Eja yo won kuro nu ara won. If you actually know how much they all work hand in hand to keep you mumus, to continue to be doing wow, be ambulance. Saying wow. And they actually know how to sell those things to make you start doing wow. Say wow, shen shire ni, ambulance ni yene. E woni wow. So people like that, you know what I mean? So he's coming back to say, after all of that journey, the journey from 2015 to 2023, which happened to be just 8 years journey, supposed 8 years journey to the future. Baba na 40 years back, Nigeria is back to 19, according to him, Nigeria is back to 1890. Anyway, listen to him. Everybody that is lying, they say if you live long enough, if your heroes live long enough, they will be villain. Sometimes when villains live long enough, they will be heroes, Abi. Ayeti Daru. Emir Sanusi, tell us about Bokwari 8 years that everybody was so happy at the time that they were going to change Nigeria. Here we are.
All of this good work you've done, all of this advocacy ties around the 80. No, it was 2,180 in 1980, 2,229 in 2019. Now, at this rate, by 2023, on a per capita basis, PPP, we will be back where we were in 1980. We have been set back 40 years. I mean, and you look at the fall. I mean, between 2014 and 2019, all the gains made in 35 years between 1980 and 2014 were wiped out.
Shogboyinbo, do you understand English? Sorry, not you. I'm talking to that one. Yeah, you. Every gain that Nigeria must have actually made between 1980 and 2014 was wiped out between 2014 and 2019. By 2023, we are back to 1980. Only that for you and your PCU. You know what I did when I woke up this morning? When I checked that $1 to Naira is now 1,070 Naira to $1. I screamed. Kada fun gbogbo ẹ̀yin APC ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́ yìí. Ni kure ni kon. Like, just wake up and just come. They are méjì mẹ́ta. Just drop it on them. They are ruining and destroying lives. They are telling them to hang on and hold on. They are telling you to hang on and hold on. When they are actually so busy to further dip you in that pit. And if you don't understand what this means, there is a particular one that is very visible in the gains that has been wiped off by this APC, Egbekegbe, Apayan People's Congress, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, Ayad Killers People's Congress. Sorry, that is not APC. Remove the Kinijare Koyo Isha Kurumekolo Aya. Because that's what they represent. Anybody that is identifying as APC, Egbekegbe, when you see them, you just like, talalebani ko da fun yin. Atalarobani ko da fun yin. Alale oni jo ko sun won fun yin. Tidile ti ran. Shey you get? Just make penyele won lori. They will respond back, ko ni da fun won no. You haven't done anything wrong. Shey you get? But the reason why a lot of them deserve that ekpe is because while they are sinking you, you were shouting Hosanna, Hallelujah. Some of you were even shouting Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You see, dupe tiel Alhamdulillah. Enshali Alhamdulillah ninu ise.
ẹ̀ ń ṣe alihamdulilayi nínú ìyà wọ́n wá ní kẹ́ forí tì. Use your endure. That's what you call it in English. Endure. In Yoruba, we say fioriti. That is, use your head to kind of push it. If they push you, use your head push them. If they push you push them back. Baba, literally, that's the easiest part. The easiest part. The shege that is pushing Nigerians, those who are using Orito, fioriti. Apart from the fact that they have already gone bad, right? Some of them don't get pito. They don't get portal inside their center of their head with the shege they are seeing. They will kill you. They are not working to get you out of any mess. They created the mess. They will dip you in it and deeper and deeper. And you see all the free wars like this. Sometimes they always come too late. Look at the lives that Boko Haram have destroyed. Or let's say, look at the lives and businesses that APC Egbekegbe destroyed in 8 years. Sanusi is now telling us that it's even worse than that. You are back to 40 years. Now, then take a look at what Thiefnubu is doing right now and tell me if it's not going to take you back to 80 years by the time they are done. 80 years to your long. Nigeria. Any one of you associating with APC, Egbekegbe, blackmailing the ordinary people who have done nothing. What people do you? Have you ever asked yourself that waiting be your offense? When they come around and tell you that you should be very careful because now God they choose leaders. Do you see where I kind of always don't want you to let your pastors, your imams, your spiritual leaders or anything where you believe in, your mama lawo or baba lawo, uncle lawo and auntie lawo, it doesn't really matter what you believe in. The moment they begin to use that their vision or be whatever they are seeing or anything at all, the moment they begin to use that to project political power and political responsibility, one thing koja yara one year size you want the one be da. You know what I mean? That means they are already passing their boundary. When your pastor begin to use his own author, they predict what is going on in government or in politics to shape your mind. We know the game. I know the game very well. And that's why I always want to let you know that always separate your faith when it comes to this issue of governance, politics, and everything that comes with it. Once you begin to mix them, about anything where you see me, you collect them like that. Sure you get anything where you see me, you collect them like that. Because there are people like us, we have learned over time, right? That you cannot mix that your faith, which is strong and real to you. You cannot use that to talk about a leadership. So when somebody now turn around and say, Mayegu, it is just, God. There were times people were saying to me that God is punishing Nigerians for their offense or whatever. At a point, and I was like, how? He said, well, God is giving Nigerians bad leaders because of their sin, because they are not turning to God. So when somebody told me that, I knew that I was talking to a madman, somebody who is really not there anymore, but he wouldn't know. So, but I kind of pushed it back and I said that, are you a sinner? And like, are you a believer? And he said, yes, very strong believer. I said, but there are many other believers like yourself too. And he was like, yeah. I said, you are not a sinner like many of us. Okay? I said, how come that the God that you are serving could not use just because of you and people like you who cry to him all the time, to look onto Nigeria and change Nigeria? How come he couldn't, because of you, change Nigeria? Why did you not ask yourself that if God is punishing Nigerians because of whatever sin you think is their sin or whatever, right? What about you that is not a sinner? Because The consequences of all of this, now you said they share in now, they share in it. How come God is not using you to forgive all of us? Then it was like, God can do. I said, now only Bruku people like you are using God, okay, to confuse other people in order for them to become the subjects of the criminals who are leading them. Now, Olori Brukus like you, using that same God, put that God inside it, confuse everybody. I said, is that how much God hates Nigerians, including you? Do you not see how blasphemous you are for using God to say God chooses leaders? But somehow, God has been choosing horrible, heartless criminals as leaders of Nigeria, who have also made sure that Nigerians remain in darkness, in poverty. What kind of blasphemy is that? How could you be so blasphemous against the same God that you serve, that you are using him as an excuse for the failures of these criminals? Around that time, he was like, no, you are taking it too far. You cannot understand. You cannot understand things of the spirit. I was like, oh, Nikure ati spirit here. Don't bring it to me. Oh. Don't ever come closer to me and start talking about how I can't understand why normal human beings, who are given opportunity, running a country, and they are running that country aground, and it has become like it's a normal thing. And you are telling me whatever is going on with them is happening in the spiritual realm. Ogunloma power at the spiritual realm. Take it outside, though, and let people think clearly that the criminals they are dealing with, they don't have any evil, evil power or this power or whatever that is actually, in a way, superior to yours. But people who make you believe that they have all those powers are those who are telling you, now God, they choose leader. Then on the other hand, the reason why you have bad leaders is because you are a sinner. Don't ever fall for that. And if you are the type who always find a way to connect spirituality with leadership and then use that to say people in the coven, people in the darkness, they are the one controlling their mind. The people in the darkness are not controlling their mind that they should probably run mad and run naked and run outside and never come back. They didn't do that. The people in the darkness, they trained all these criminals. These people in the spirit, they trained all these criminals, Abi, on how to, loot your money, forge the document, do all of that. And once they take the money, they know where to keep all the money. They know what their family members deserve. They know what to do. You know what I mean? They could give all those resources to them. But you, or do the right thing. And then, at this point, you have nothing you can do. You just have to pray. Oh yeah, Egbadura! Egbadura! Everywhere they are putting the mind of all the Nigerian leaders. We command, we loose, we bind. If you don't get mental problem, you will never join them in such prayers. And say, the next prayer point, Tiwa, all of the leaders of Nigeria, every evil hand, every evil spirit controlling their mind not to do anything for us. Oh yeah, Egbadura! Adura, and then you go there and say, Orúkọ Jésù, ayé ló ń ṣe ẹ́ o, wèrè ló ń ṣe ẹ́ o, wèrè gidi ló ń ṣe ẹ́ o. You are not calling Jesus and calling Jesus or calling God. They won't answer you because they will know that you actually deserve to be in an asylum, in a mental home. Come and treat. And that is why people like me will always kind of be there to remind you that don't let anybody let you mix your religion, your faith. It's yours. Very, very, very sanctimonious. It's personal. I may never understand the strength of your faith. You can talk to me and pray for me and tell me things and all of that. But when it comes to government and governance, Baba, just don't bring your faith to it because I know where that is coming from. I have been there. Do you understand? I have been there. I have been in a position whereby I have been programmed. I was programmed to believe that the reason why I was suffering was either because I wasn't praying enough, or I didn't have strong faith enough, or some people who are actually after my life, after my glory, after my destiny, they are stronger. They made me believe that those who are after my glory, my destiny, they neither sleep, they neither slumber. So I must make sure that agbadura, agbakula dura o, agbakuni o, amagbadura yikuni o, or I want to show what people where they do us, they know they sleep, oh, you must pray. That's what they made me believe too. I believe that if I want good road, we all need to pray for it. I used to believe that if you want electricity to be stable, we must pray for good things to come. And our Father in heaven will bring them and send the helper. I was made to believe that if government failed, God can raise anybody to come and give us whatever we want. I was conditioned like that too. So if I tell you not to bring down your belief and your faith to the conversation of a governance, responsibility and all of that, I am telling you from my own experience. Don't bring them up. Because I know some of you want to shake with you. Who always bring all this faith thing. I have just said my mind now. Before you know it, my WhatsApp, my phone, they will be receiving special messages like, God will still use you. I have a faith in the Almighty, my God, that I serve. I know you don't believe. Politics. My God, don't talk like as God like that. God can. God at anything because I know where you're coming from. And I'm not actually questioning your faith or your what have you, but don't bring them to political conversation. Don't bring them to the responsibility that comes with leadership. Don't. If you do, Munisa is yellow. I don't even care about your age. Okay? I get your size. Because we know how they work all this conditioning. And we know why we are where we are today. How it's become so easy that there are those who are always going to be like, if you want left for long, my brother, let's leave them to God. Let's leave them for God. I came from that conditioning position as well, where they made me believe that God loves poor people. Maybe some of you still believe that, Abi? Or you don't believe that? No anymore. Sure. I came from that background too. That I am poor. Could actually be because of the love of God for me. And anybody, if the government failed to do the right thing, if I should cry, me, poor man, poor woman, if I should cry and my tears drop like this, and I call on God, I call on my God, you will see what will happen. They made me believe that too, as a poor man. So politicians will now come and say, you must be very, very careful how you treat the poor. I mean that they talk about it now, we be the poor. Because they are the apple eyes of God. They say we, poor people, we are the apple eyes of God. So you must be very careful. That's why when you give to poor people, you will receive bountifully because God will bless you for being kind to the poor. Now we be the poor people. So it now makes you feel better as a poor people. We say, how are you poor? I say, now we be that too. What about all the poor people? Can we see all the poor people? Then we just say, hey, we there here. We are the apple eye of God. Be careful, treat us better. We are the poor people. Don't let us cry. If we should cry, Lasso, God can suddenly just take away your wealth. And God can just make you poor. Because God does not want the poor people to cry. They use all of that. So they make you feel better that you are poor. And there are many people who still believe that. Politicians will loot their money, build mansions, take the money outside the country. Okay? But the politician, they feed the poor people. Do you know how many people this man is feeding? Mayegun. Mayegun, you are just spoiling this man's name. Do you know how many mouths this man is feeding? The poor people that rely on this man. Let us fear God, Mayegun. Do you know how many poor people that are praying for this man? This man that you are talking about here, anyhow, do you know how many poor people he's saving? You know, and the poor people will be like, it's true. Oh. If not because of him, I will never eat Uncle Ben's rice in my life. It was his wife who came, and they said, poor people, oh yeah, come, oh, we want to help the poor people. And they gave us Uncle Ben's rice, imported. So they make you feel like it's good to be poor, even though it is the worst of the worst. You want me to give you an example? How helping the poor in the context of Nigeria. I'll give you one. For example, when they say, we are going to give subsidy palliatives to the poor people. So the poor people are going to be like, okay. I will see if they will give me. The last one they shared when they said that we the poor people from this part we should assemble. That one they didn't give me. They did not give me anything. Another thing is coming for us now. We poor people. I will see. Let's see if they will not give me. So they make you feel like it's all right to be poor. It's not all right to be poor. It is not. Okay? And the fact that they intentionally make you poor, they want you to remain in that poverty state so that everything they give you, it will be like say they do you favor. Poor people in Nigeria, they will tell you, can you imagine? This honorable was sharing rice of this, my brother, people are hungry. Let us appreciate. Let us appreciate this honorable. Some honorable, they will not even share the food. They will just take the money themselves. This one is still giving them something. You are complaining. You, this Mayegun, how many people have you helped? Aladeo. We are talking about those who are using government money, your money, supposedly your money, all right? And they are now giving you handout, stipend, because you are poor. They are helping you to get you out of poverty. And we can tell that while they are sharing that stipend, the majority of the chunk of the resources has gone down into the private pocket of these criminals. Now, you want me to come and now explain to you how many people with me I don't buy rice for? How many people I don't pay their school fees? So even if I tell you how many people I don't buy rice for, how many people I don't buy puff puff for, would that then make you come back and have a conversation with me that these criminals, the way they are treating you, it's not right? Would you come back and agree? Of course, you will never come back and agree. So when I told you that I've been there before, they are conditioning poverty na bastard. Oh, boy, you Miami. Poverty to na bastard. I'll tell you more. We'll go to Kogi. I'll show you how they always kind of treat the Nigerians they considered as poor, that they are helping. So politicians will see it as, you are complaining. What if we decide not to give you? What are you going to do? We can decide not to give you. Say, okay, sorry, sir, sorry. We know that you can decide not to give us, and there's nothing we can do. Anyway, Oya, bring them, collect them, Baba. Oya, come front, come and collect your own.
Number two. I saw one man you are in. Number three. Number three. Number four. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 9. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10 of none. Number 11. 11. Give us space in the wow. Number 12. Okay, you shift. Hello. 13.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Mbazo Yorùbá. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lù yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyí gbogbo ṣe sọ. Sẹ́yìn ìlú lé. Fún alówó wa anówó wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Now ẹ sọ wá di lazy youth. Òun ni mo wà ní táìmù yìí.
That was Kogi. Shebi, they said they will give 80,000 naira palliative. All of us said, Damboroba, Shege Bansa, Abi, Baba, na Congo, na Agolo rice, Agolo rice, inside the black polythene bag, plastic bag, with 1,000 naira. And you have to show your voter's card before you can even collect the 1,000 naira and the Agolo rice. Reality check in here. Many won't actually collect anything. Meanwhile, on the record, 60 million Nigerians have been lifted out of poverty by giving them 1,000 naira and Agolo rice. That is it. Keep them in that poverty. Tell them that Nigeria is going to be great one day. If they live long enough, maybe they will see it. And if they don't, it's all right. Maybe their children will see it. And if their children also grow old and they don't, well, that's fine. Maybe their own children will see it or more. How could anybody even sign up for that? Africa Wahala. Thank you for that, okay? So somebody was passing through the Lekki Ekpe today. You should do like me. Honestly. What I'm about to tell you. Oh yeah. Lekki Ekpe. In 2004, Kolu awarded the reconstruction, okay, of Lekki Ekpe Expressway, 2004. And this was awarded to the Shaguris, or Shaguri. You know the Shaguri brothers, Abi? The same Shaguri. Anyway, they are Thiefnubu's partner. Etirugi Igiuyi. When they finally batch and they start their real thing, after 8 years, if you endured it, it go come be like say, na pepper every day, pepper in your eyes, pepper in your mouth, pepper everywhere. But don't worry, we have a name for it. It is called Shege Banza or Shege Pro Max. 2004. If you are from Lagos, you probably have seen high-tech construction, high-tech this and that. Na Thiefnubu honamo. Na Shaguri brothers they run amo. Including the Lekki Free Trade Zone, where Thiefnubu and his interest and his business is very much of the high stake. Since the criminals have been running Nigeria, there has been never any criminal in Nigeria as presidios that awarded road construction or any contract to his own company. Thiefnubu don't do am. Devil Umahi from Ebonyi, who is also the senator representing Ebonyi somewhere. Devil Umahi is the minister of potholes that replaced Isale Eko Barack Obama, Ajangbadi Albert Einstein, that is Fashola. Now, Devil Umahi don't go draw map. They want to build road from Calabar to Lagos. It will be called Coastal Road. Guess who they gave the road to? Iteki, Shaguri brothers. Yeah, and it's going to have a toll gate. But we'll first go to the Lagos road that they have been constructing since 2004. This morning, the work update today.
7:45 a.m. 25th of September. This is Ogidon area of Ogidon approaching Shoprite. This is Lekki Expressway. This is the Lagos that we are trying to. Nobody's doing anything. You can imagine. Just look at this. Look at this. The 5th of September 2023. This is Lekki Expressway. This is what people have to deal with on a Monday morning. This traffic is probably about 3 kilometers long now. That's it. And it's not even at the end yet. I've been inside this now for like almost 40 minutes. This is what we have to deal with every day. Government, please come and do something about this. This just doesn't make any sense. Lagos State, Lekki Expressway, the fastest growing area in the whole of Africa. This is what we have to deal with. So shame on.
Man, see there for jail. Politician wey in the probe don enter for power. EFCC chairman still there for jail. Politician wey in the probe don enter for power. Ewo, EFCC chairman still there for jail. Politician wey in the probe don enter for power. Ewo, EFCC chairman still there for jail. Politician wey in the probe don enter for power. If you dey do government work, you go carry am for head, you. Maka one day, I got Bokwagi na ma own. In another government, you. You wayo, one day more. Ebukwaya nishi, one day, I got Bogeke na ma. Ewo, EFCC chairman, still there for jail. Politician wey in chairman, still there for
jail. Politician way the probe don't enter for power. Jungle. Concentration camp. Nigeria. Where they love to live in their own fantasy world. Kolu. Jaga banditi. Jaga addicti. Aṣíwájú àwọn olè. Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò. Aṣíwájú àwọn atọ̀ọ́lé. Èèyàn Shatabandu, somebody was asking, well, on this issue of road or no road, I remember when Ikene Shatabandu, Pastor Ruga, Agboworin Baba Oja, the one that is a special advisor to Boko Haram on burial arrangements and condolences matters, including trader money, they put him in a chopper to fly over Apapa so that he can decongest her papa. It was like 007, James Bond, who is just about 3 feet tall. You know, James Bond has to be like 6 feet. I mean, like, there is no Shatabandu James Bond, Abby. But this guy dressed like James Bond, somebody who is like, action man, he's going to drop from the sky and he's going to fix Apapa, Lagos Apapa, Expressway, gridlock, and all of that. At the end of the day, now just simple photo up. Story. Pastor Ruga has now turned to motivational speaker. He is now motivate. He will come here and he'll start telling you, as if to say he wasn't the vice president. Even when he was the vice president, right? What do you call it? He'll go, they talk to you like saying he's talking about somewhere, he's talking about different people. It's Alaye, you be vice president, you the mad, dini. Why you they talk like say some people must do something? What's today now he don't turn to pastor. They collect Rabba and Naomo Ejue, the member of his own church, that they collect Lamba every Sunday now. Like, how could you even sit in front of those criminals and say they are preaching the word of God to you? Like, a strong, like I said, I don't want to question your religion. For some of you guys, you strong go. So you go sit down like this, That Thiefnubu army, that one that is the general of the Thiefnubu army, that you're Israel, who is also a pastor in Redeem. That one go mount this and I go to preach. But you go to say amen. You want Jews die your Israel. I want a strong go. Abi Akuri Nigalailai is also a pastor, I've been told. Akuri Nigalailai is also a pastor. And I don't want to tell you the church, you should know. So Akuri Nigalailai will be mounting the podium and the altar. He go to preach now. You go to say amen. Everlasting Lord. And he go to lead song and praise. And yourself go there. They go to say, oh Jesus, Jesus. Niwaju Akuri Nigalailai. Abi Pastor Femi Oponu Adesina. You know, Femi Oponu Adesina is also a pastor. They go sit down and they preach. Yourself go sit down there. They go say, open Leviticus African Wahala, chapter 6 and 7. And yourself go open up. Go they read them in front of those guys. I'm strong, go. Faith in strong, go. And I'm never going to judge you. I don't want to call you names, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, this bunch of trashy born liars who actually have no idea that their actions actually have consequences. But there they are. They are still your pastor, unfortunately. So yeah, I was talking about, you know the reality you live in, but you can follow them to shout, he built Lagos, he built this. They built nothing. They built nothing. And you have no idea what they have done to you. And I hope you do. I do hope you do. But going forward, somebody should tell the Pastor Tunde Bakaron. Now you see Pastor Tunde Bakaron, who is also a double speaker charlatan to some extent, yeah? Pastor Tunde Bakaron be like Barrister Femi Falana. You know, sometimes if you listen to Femi Falana, you go to say he's a senior advocate of a nuisance as well. He's a double speak. He always double speak. He's somebody that sometimes when everybody go this way, he go this way. You go the one that say, wait till they worry this man. And sometimes when he actually come out and he says something, you say, yeah, that's a Barrister Falana. Like, I know, you know. But that doesn't diminish his defense of those that the government is persecuting. No, I have to give that to him. I'm just saying, okay, there are people that when they make a public comment on the government decision, just feel like, Shorima, you know that kind of thing. You go, sometimes you say it to yourself, Shorima, remember Confessor Wole Soyinka? Like somebody like Confessor Wole Soyinka, for example, that you respect a lot. You can't say it in public that Surely Baba iti wa gba someone about it gba cement ni. Baba iti for gba leri ni. Kilo wetin dey wrong with Kongi now? Kind of thing, right? But you can't say it out. You just say it to yourself like, maybe I say this Baba don't get dementia. Kini sokuso to nso yi. Femi Falana always does that too, but people believe that he does that intentionally. Sure, you get. He can easily just, make opinions that just like, God damn it, man. You know that kind of thing. It is the same thing with Tunde Bakaron. It is like a broken clock. Sure, you get. A broken wall clock. It can always be right twice in a day. AM and PM. The rest of the hours, don't bother looking at it. That's exactly what the likes of Tunde Bakan represent. Sometimes you pick the message, you leave the messenger. Sometimes you bring out the koboko, you whip the messenger, you whip the message. Do two of them. As the messenger they run, his message will be running after him. Sometimes. And I think there are also times that you just feel like, can you please just shut up? Sir, can you just shut up? Don't say anything. That kind of moment is like this one I'm about to play for you. And it's this statement on Mobad. There are times that you just have to be like, just shut up, please.
Last night, my wife did not know that there was a Mobad. How many of you know Mobad? Huh? The Nigerian artist who died at 27, Mobad. Mobad, when he was drinking and smoking and associating with evil men, he does not know that the harvest will come so soon and will be cut down in the prime of youth. I'm not blaming him. I'm just telling you, is Mobad a good name? Mobad. There was a young...
What's going on, Christian? What's going on, Christian?
That's exactly what the fans of Mobad will feel like. Pastor, what's happening? Pastor, what we do you now? Pastor, Pastor, my light in you. You know that kind of thing. Like, Pastor, what happen now? Sometimes they keep quiet now. I can keep quiet. I can pretend to be bad. You know, sometimes, I do it too. Sometimes I just keep quiet. Sometimes. Anyway, I think we have come to the end of my own part of the presentation. So maybe we should take calls now, because I know a lot of you would like to react to everything I have said, and that would be a pleasure. But I'm going to go make myself another cup of tea, as usual, a fresh one, that will then serve me for the next hour. So you do me one favor, all right? We are currently over 3,000 of us on YouTube, which is great. Thank you. So you too can take a moment or take a break. Leave that comment section, okay? Like the broadcast. Subscribe to my channel. To all of you newcomers who just recently subscribed to my channel, thanks for staying back, okay? I hope I am still saying things that will keep you here, but it's not always going to be like that. The best way to enjoy Mayegun's Diary Political is not to have anything to do with any of these criminals in Nigeria. Try not to, okay? You will enjoy my platform very well. But if you get feelings for any of these rogues, one day I go talk about your own rogue. The Mayegun that you love. I love this guy. Oh, this guy is so good. Oh, this guy, I like this guy. It's so... One day, if you be the turn of the person where you say no one may anybody talk about, if he be your pastor, if he be your bishop, if he be your son, if he be anybody, but you need to get used to it anyway. Don't worry. We will all be fine. Don't go anywhere. Pick up the phone if you want to be part of this, okay? But it's going to be for the next, it's going to be after the next 2-3 minutes, okay? I will be back.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh, sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. This is
Zeus. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
No,
yes,
hard
sir.
to tell. Like,
yeah, my let me go straight to the point.
I appreciate that.
Since Buhari, since Tinubu took over office, talking about what you said yesterday, the $700 million that he gave him.
That's right, 700 million. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since he took office, Nigeria have taken the loan of $2.15 billion already.
Did you add the $3 billion from the Afrexim? I don't think you have.
Yeah.
Well, if you have added the $3 billion, then it can be 2.1 billion.
No, 2.15 billion.
I said, did you add the $3 billion they took from the Afrexim? So that's your total?
No. I'm just talking since May. Since May he took over.
Okay. I'll let you continue. You still don't get it. What I'm saying is that if your estimate says 2.1 billion, that means you haven't added the 3 billion they took in August, which was last month.
Oh, yeah. So
if you added that, then you won't have 2.1 billion. But go on with that explanation. I want to hear that.
Okay, so that's leaving like $400 billion. That's 35% of our GDP. And if you're looking at it, they're not investing in any project that will generate economic growth.
No.
And the last one they're taking, they say it's for the girls. The girls going to school.
Adolescent girls' education.
Yeah. And that doesn't even Nigeria. The ships come to Nigeria, and they bring we import. We don't export anything.
That's right.
And the ships they go back empty. So the export relative to import through creativity, not borrowing. You know. So if we want to encourage our currency to our economy to grow, we should think about the export relative to import through creativity, not through borrowing. That's right. Increase the value, stop importing fuel so that our foreign exchange production can be a centered economy. So if you're looking at it, they're not producing anything. We're not producing anything. And we're importing almost everything.
They are not investing in the production in Nigeria, production industries and all of that. They are not investing in them. They are more interested in building, awarding contract for road, awarding contract for this building, that one, and they will say we are working. No.
And another thing I want to say, I was thinking that Nigeria have the federal government, the state government, and the local government. Why is it that APC, there's nothing like local government elections anymore? I keep asking myself that question. Even in Anambra State, for example, there's no local government election. They're just taking over the states by themselves.
That's right.
They're not creating avenues for the people to have access to government through local government.
No.
And another thing I want to say, there's this person that wrote a book. I think the person's name is Sola Akinyemi. And he wrote a book saying that the Igbos
fought with the Yorubas. And I remember there is no time, you always say that in our history, that Igbos fought the Yorubas.
Never.
And I did my research and I found out that the people that the person mistaken for was Ubo in Ileje Kingdom.
I know.
What is now in Ondo State.
That's right.
Ubo, UDBO, is not Igbo.
Ugbo,
And there's no way
the pronunciation is, see, the pronunciation is Ugbo people. It's not even Ugbo that will sound like an Igbo. No, it's Ugbo people. From
Ondo State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see what these people are doing. This Akinyemi right now, and they're sending these books to the young children to read.
That's right.
They're trying to keep separating us. I mean, we shouldn't be falling into their trap. We should be calling their crap.
Most of them are deliberate.
When they keep
sure you get, and that is why programs like this are to remind everybody that nothing happened by accident in a system that is programmed to be exactly what it is. So if you see something, say it. Don't believe that it happened by accident. No, nothing happened. You see this story you are talking about. Let me elaborate a bit for our listeners so they will understand too, right? Now, there is this primary school textbook, and it's probably about history, something for the primary school kids. Now, in that history book, right, they were talking about Irohins, the Nigeria Irohins, which happened to be, they now mentioned what do you call it, Moremi of Ife. So they now said in that, they said that the story was about when the people of Ugbo will come and invade Ile-Ife. So then Moremi rose and gathered women and resisted them and fought them. You see this publisher for a national book that they are going to give to children all over Nigeria, or they give to children all over Nigeria. Akinyemi, like you mentioned his name, the publisher, decided to now put, instead of Ugbo, he now put Igbo people used to invade Ile-Ife. And initially people thought it was a typographical error, a very grave error. The guy came out, you know what he said? He said he Googled it. He saw it on Google. That's what he copied to even make it worse. This story you are sharing right now, Zeus. But nothing happened by accident. Not by accident.
Yeah, they're trying to divide us by all means.
That's right.
And again, my last note now is I just want to say happy birthday to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Today is his birthday. They're trying to shut down today is his birthday.
That's right.
So they're trying to shut any of us that are trying to speak against the evil system that they're operating. So I'm just wishing him happy birthday. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
You too, Zeus. Thank you so much for that. Let's all give our shout out. I saw that earlier today, and I was trying to kind of pick it enough that I could do something on it. I'm glad that Zeus just mentioned that. Okay, so yeah, happy birthday to the man that Nigeria is at crossroads with. They have no idea of what to do with him. They can't kill him, but they don't want him to go. We'll continue, right, to demand for his unconditional release from these illegitimate criminals lording it over all of us. So yeah, happy birthday to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Hello there.
My good general. You know who is calling?
Well, I could guess, but I don't think I'm going to guess right. You have to help me, sir. Because that number is from
me now. No, it's me, Kenneth.
You see, how could you be calling me with +234 and you are asking me to guess?
Right.
That's so unfair, right?
I know, right? I know. My apologies. My apologies. I'm sorry.
You know how I always know that, I'm not like kind of person who has this special whatever, but I have my way of recognizing some people and I'll say, oh, that's you. Is that you? But you are calling me with +234 and I didn't even take a look at the picture. How are you?
Yeah, no, that's why I thought you would have seen my picture.
That's where I actually missed it. I saw your picture, but I didn't pay attention. I was like, +234. Oh, that must be Niger. Where are you? Okay.
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well. I'm not saying how are you. I said, where are you?
No, I'm here. I'm still here in the States. Sorry.
Oh, you're still here in this. Okay then, fair enough. So yeah, Ken, please.
Okay, so like what you were saying earlier, I mean about the exchange rate, the dollar to naira. I mean, even myself, I'm literally like I'm weeping, I'm crying, like dollar is in the 1,000 now. This is not good, my ego. This is terrible. This is not good because the way it is now, there is no way. You know, you predicted it, my ego. Many of you show that. The way the whole thing is going, as long as Nigerians are not doing, the government of Nigeria are not doing what they're supposed to do, they are consuming more, they are borrowing more on top of what they have already borrowed. There is no project in terms of whereby they are generating anything to more or less like anything you are generating, you are manufacturing, you are selling out there.
No real production. They are not investing in any production. They just thought that they could take money here and say, we are constructing that road, we are constructing that train, we are doing this and that, and that is it. Government is working, or the entire country is almost jobless. And they were falsifying figures, saying, you know, we are now fully employed. I will solve it.
But if in fact, as I'm even talking to you now, every naira I get in terms of all the businesses I do in Nigeria now, I just leave it there. I don't even bother about sending in any dollar or anything per dollar or pound sterling to any of the accounts I have in Nigeria, because I realize that what is the point of keeping that money there when the naira itself is already in the toilet, is still going down the drain,
and it keeps going.
I can just keep my forest. Why their naira go down the toilet, you know? Because I don't understand. What is the point of me sending it when they are not even doing anything to make any sense? The truth of the matter, my ego here is this. Finally, is that the way it is going now, I mean, it's really just a matter of time that the naira itself would just look like a toilet roll. It really doesn't even make any sense.
You know?
These people they say they are intellectual. They are
intellectuals.
It's sad though, because now it simply means that God, $1,000. That means that's 1 million plus.
Now.
Hey,
1,000 pounds is 1.24 million. That's 1,240,000. 1,000 pounds. 1,000 euro is now 1.1 million naira. So yeah. So one of these days, $1,000 is going to be 2 million naira. And that will be 2,000 naira to a dollar by the time they finish their 8 years. This one, so if they no chase them, they don't come out. Pressure don't do.
Pressure. Pressure. Thank you, my good for picking my. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken. Okay, have a wonderful one there. I have another caller on the line here. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you too. How are you, sir?
I'm good, my evening. It's been like 2 weeks or 1 month now. I've called you online.
Right. And do you want to tell me your name, or we should just leave that?
Yeah, no, I'm calling from the Federal Capital.
Oh, my man, from the FCT. Now you don't even have to say much. I know you know. Yeah, go for it. How are you? How is FCT tonight?
My ego. It's fine. My ego. You are my mentor. That's only mentor. I only follow your sermon, Sunday sermon. I only follow I'll call it sermon. All the whole, whenever you come up online. Yeah. I give a sermon to me. You know, your whenever you talk to me, you look at you are talking to me directly. Everything, you know. I don't call my name. I don't want to mention my name, but then
no, it's all right. I mean, you don't have to at this point. Go on.
Yeah. Because whenever you're talking, I'm always with you. I treat you to be my mentor. On the first time I started listening to you, you are my mentor.
Thank
I'll
you.
do like that. Yeah.
So on tonight.
Someone was only yeah, yes, I could not reach you yesterday, but I say no problem. That's how it looks like. But then I follow your program always. Your yesterday programs, man, very good. Touches me. You speak on Saturday programs that you did. I follow it up, man. It's like you're in Nigeria. Let me just tell you. Yes, yeah, yesterday program, when I followed it around 2 o'clock yesterday, I went on, I listened to you. I say, there you go. You're not in Scotland. You're in Nigeria. Because
really? Well, I kind of always have a lot of people around as well, like that, gist with and share things with and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty much like that.
I'm in the capital. Yeah, I'm in the capital. But the way you said, your sermon always inspired me. In fact, your yesterday sermon, you know,
that's great.
It's always real.
That's great, bro.
It's always real.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
The exposure you give, the exposure you give, is exactly how it went. I don't know where you get your, just like when I was listening to when you was making his program, I followed him up. Whenever you, there's one thing that Namikano made that I followed up. He said that his exposure will never, Intel, even Nigeria Intel, will never get it right. His Intel was always perfect, and I took it and I followed him up just the way you said it.
Thank you.
Whenever you said, I don't know how you get your Intel, but your Intel is always right, 100%. Your Intel was always.
That's reassuring, I would say. Thanks so much, Baba. I hope you keep it that way, because I'm gonna keep it this way. Right? It's always gonna be like this.
Your Intel always inspired me. So when I go, I make my fact check. Even when you talk about PW, what you said about PW was true. You said that PW says, what made the politician got mad is that go and fact check, go and check my record.
Yes.
That alone makes them angry. That alone was this guy always looks so sense to Nigerians. It always his political career was always sense. And I've made my inquiry. And I'll make my fact check. And I've made my I don't know how I wrote it. I'll make my research. Yes.
Right.
After the whole research I made, after all the whole research I made, PTB always stands tall among every politician in Nigeria. And they have to get angry for him. Yes, they have to get angry for him because he's self. And Nigeria, whenever he speaks, Nigeria will believe on what he says. That is why Nnamdi Kanu has not been released. Because he has always made his speech. He has already made his program. Whenever you go and participate, you find that whatever Nnamdi Kanu said is true.
That's right.
That
it's not hard to, Baba. Anyway, thank you so much.
That is why always Kolu is they have not want to release him.
They don't
That is why Hope Uzodinma of Imo State will never want Nnamdi Kanu to release, because whatever he said, the intent is always correct. Just the way you,
Mayegu, don't want to have that. They want people like us completely shut down, but well, they still haven't succeeded yet.
Mayegu, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you one thing. I know I have been following everything you say. You know that even in Paris TV, even in Channel TV, in ITM, was it ITV or what is it called?
And the rest of them like that, TVC, ITM.
whatever I always get the information first from you before I got it from them. Your information is your yesterday program.
Thank you so much. You know what, right? Because
Your
right? More take extra.
Let me just make this let me just make this
it's really good talking to you again, right?
Your yesterday program was today our hearing in Arise TV. You have already given the information first. So when I heard it from Arise TV this morning, it was like, oh, I've already heard.
Anyway, let me take another one because of our time. You listening? Okay. Hello there.
Yeah, Baba Mayegu.
Baba, how you doing?
Good evening, sir. I did fine. This is I'm the first caller on your show.
Oh, are you saying? Tell me. So you are the first time caller tonight?
Yes, sir.
Right. We have a ritual, right? We just do like that.
Oh,
you are welcome to the temple as you've registered your voice.
In fact, my name is G.O. I like to abbreviate my name G.O.
Did you say G.O. or T.O.?
G.O. G.O.
G.O. Right.
Yeah, my brother. I'm good. I just want to thank you very much, man, because what the 80, 90 years old do not know in Nigeria, you have exposed in fact, it's more or less like going back to school that you've started a long time ago. When I started following your show, it really opened my eyes to the inner secrets
Thanks a lot,
of what is going on in Nigeria. I'm telling you. In fact, your show makes it look as if we are back. It makes it so lively, and you don't feel lonely at all listening to your show at all.
So I could keep you glued to your seat, and then you would just be there like, no, man, I'm not bored. So my show is not boring, practically saying, right?
In fact, yes, you don't need to be around friends. Just going to YouTube and just listen to your show is mind blowing.
That sounds encouraging then. Thank you.
It's mind blowing. A lot of everything I would like to call you a prophet, Prophet Mayegu. All that you have said from before the election, months ago, how everything will go has actually come to play like it's like you wrote a script of a movie, just playing in the eyes of Nigerians.
So you were sitting down there and hoping and waiting like, oh, he said this, I'm going to see how that's going to go. Then it happened and you're like, oh my God, like, how could he just say it that way? Like, things could go the other way. Why was he so sure? We are talking about the same criminals. You cannot build different hopes for the same criminals. It doesn't work that way. So that's why it makes it look so easy for me to say, oh, this is how it's going to go. As long as I can see all of the characters, the players, I can tell you the end of the game. It's not hard.
You know, there was one thing you said that really baffled me about you. When you said, please do not build your expectations.
Yes, sir.
On the outcome of the
manage your expectation of this.
Manage your expectation.
I was being generous, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, I knew people who are so emotionally attached to what is going on in Nigeria, especially this issue of election. So coming here to say it straight to them will be so depressing. So I had to devise a means of making them understand. I say, just manage your expectation. I'm not saying you shouldn't have expectation. Just manage it. And
that word alone is like a medication for curing hypertension, high blood pressure.
That's class. So people started managing their expectation. Like, okay, if it doesn't come, fine. My ego already said that we should manage it. So let's just, so that worked.
Even Peter Obi himself, if you can see Peter Obi and Atiku, they are not really worried about winning the court anymore. They want to expose the judiciary of Nigeria. That alone, exactly what you were saying. That alone will prevent investors from coming to invest in Nigeria.
That's right. The damages will be unlimited, unimaginable.
Exactly, sir. And all that you've been saying have come to play. Look at they both Supreme Court today.
You go hear more. You go see more, Baba. You see that man that was making that mouth there, eh? It go be like a Festus Okoye of INEC. The one that was grandstanding. IRF has come to stay. Beavers has come to stay. Did you hear him on after the election on Channels Television? He said nobody can tell INEC how to conduct election. As you see that guy that was talking in the Supreme Court, that video I played earlier, eh? Give him 2 days. He go change his statement. Just watch out.
Do you know, very good, do you know that with all that you have said, even Arewola, the Chief Supreme Court Justice, right? Due to the evidence so overwhelming, I don't think if that man even have the courage to even utter a word concerning Supreme Court issue. I'm not sure. Because
you go see naked shamelessness, Baba, and you go sit down there and you'll be like, what? You remember when I said they will rig you out? Like it was, personally, I confess. I said I wasn't expecting the outing that Obedient actually had. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, okay?
Yes,
so I was shocked. But I initially said they will rig you out, that the rigging will be so obvious that you will get angry. I said, why would they do things like this? That happened. I said that will be the first though. They will do same thing to you at the court, and that one will even make you more angry and be like, what? That has happened. Now the Supreme Court will shock everybody pass. That Supreme Court when they read their judgment, a lot of you will be like, oh, Nigeria is done. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to have anything to do with this country anymore. Wait for it.
Exactly.
You go hear him.
Do you know I met a guy? You know, I live in the US.
Yes.
I met a guy today, a Nigerian from Akwa Ibom. You know what he told me? I was trying to do you hear what is happening back home? He said, no, he doesn't even want to. Exactly what you said about Nigerians.
That's right.
I was like, Jesus.
Yes.
I was like, Mahigo,
Baba,
did you come and so you know what is happening in the minds of Nigerians?
It is not just their mind. See, Baba, we have been there. A lot of us, right? You know what I do on my program, right? I want a lot of us who are no longer in Nigeria. I always want to bring us back to what it was in Nigeria when we left. Not just us saying it. I want us to picture ourselves in that position, in that situation, for us to understand how the mind of an average Nigerian reads. Here you get. Once you begin to understand how their average mind works, you can put all the pieces together, like I do. It's so easy. But a lot of us don't even pay attention. Abi? People will go read deadline news. They go read deadline news. Oh, Nigeria, don't steal another money. You know?
In fact, what you are saying concerning this kidnapping and liver selling and this thing,
organ harvesting,
God in heaven will bless you beyond your widest imagination.
Amen. Oh.
Do you know that only just that information you gave today and yesterday is going to open millions of them? Do you know that you have millions of followers that you don't even know that are following you?
I can tell.
Do you know that?
I would
only the exposure.
I can just imagine it. Yes, Baba.
The exposure that you gave concerning the tricks of desperation to sell human parts, the trick of desperation to. Oh, Jesus Christ!
So you could relate with that narrative, right? To the point that you felt like, man, even if this is not me, I can imagine a lot of people that are actually in that situation. And then you'll be scared. I say, oh my God, like they are not really going to find it hard to organ harvest in Nigeria with the level of poverty. People will willingly go there and get their organs harvested. And that should be scary.
Like you said, Nigerians are not willing to go back to Nigeria.
No.
You are very correct with that. Very correct. In fact, you it's like you are in the heart of many people. You know, the truth, you know one thing that baffled me about you, the truth you said is so naked. It's so naked, even the blind man can see the truth, of what you are saying.
God bless you.
My brother,
Thank you so much.
I'm just speechless, you know. at this your age, you are lecturing people that was in Nigeria.
My own
before
grandfathers and fathers and uncles and aunties, people who are actually going to be like, oh, right, you got me thinking.
They have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
They have no clue, Mayegu, about what you say out of your mouth, and they're like, God will bless you. That's all I can say. I don't want to take your time. Too. God will bless you so that others can call you. God will bless you.
Amen. And
God bless
too,
you, sir.
Stay safe.
God bless you, sir.
I appreciate this. Gio, I will remember that.
Yes.
Stay safe, yes, all right? Have a good one. So I've got another, namesake. When you call me about Gio. Now I've got a Gio from the US now, right? I don't care about the full meaning of the Gio. I've got a Gio, right? You don't have a Gio, do you? Hello there. One sad thing is that for you to kind of also to call in, then there you get connected, then the network is not going to connect you. Can you hear me still? Are you there? Sorry. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just take another one. Okay. Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. Good evening. I'm sure it's evening in the UK right now. I'm
here, and it's afternoon over there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's actually evening. I'm calling from Austin, Texas. I guess you can remember my name. I'm Anthony from Austin, Texas.
Anthony, I do.
Yes.
Even if I don't remember that name right away, I remember that voice. How you doing?
Okay. I'm very well. Thank you. Right. I'm happy to connect with you again. And
thank you.
One more time, I want to thank you for your effort and all you've been doing. We appreciate you, and God will appreciate you more.
Amen. Oh, thanks a lot.
Yes. Okay. I did not follow this program from the beginning, so I don't even know exactly what is the topic being discussed today.
The next time you should read the caption and all of that. But yeah, you can still chip in. Depends on which of them you picked up.
Yeah.
Go on, sir.
I've been wanting to call all this while, and just believe that whenever I get through to you, I should be able to say exactly what I have had in mind.
Or your mind, exactly.
Regardless of what is being discussed.
That's right.
So let me go quickly. I know that a lot of people appreciate your work, but I will employ our people to make their conversation a little bit quick and straight to the point so others can get through, because you don't have all the time.
That's right. Thanks a lot for that. Please.
If you remember, on the 30th of August, I was your last caller, and I made a point. And after I finished speaking, you said that is the way you're going to end your show, and you want everybody to go and think about what Anthony said. I am coming back again to say just close to what I said that day. And it is about the fact that I feel in my mind that we Nigerians, we don't seem to be prepared to salvage our country yet. Because I have this, for me, I'm a huge believer. I've always been a huge believer in Nigeria. But the way things are going, I'm trying to save myself from all this extreme level of mental torture, by which every day you hear the same thing over and over and over again. I remember telling you that day that we are like preaching to the choir. Everything you are talking about, Maegun, we all know it. Every other person that calls in, and I'm saying this because I know a lot of people are listening to your program right now. Please, the idea is not to call in and give a litany of Nigerian problem, a litany of how the corrupt political elites have been destroying the country. That is not taking us anywhere. We all know it. You are preaching to the choir. We are not this idea of all talk and no action. I'm actually tired of it. And let me tell you, people are enjoying the program. I'm enjoying your program too. But actually, it is even beginning to give me mental torture too. I must be honest. Why am I saying that? Because we keep hammering, reminding ourselves, opening up of the wound, but we're not thinking of how to treat this wound, bandage it, and get it to heal once and for all. That is my concern. 2 days ago, a caller called into your program, and I think this same guy, I can't remember his name, but he's living in the UK. He made a point, which was exactly the point I made the other time, that let us do something, even if it is one euro. I'm sure you remember that guy. Let us get ourselves together. He said that he up to 20,000 people are following your program. I don't know. From my screen, I'm seeing that about 2,700 people are listening right now. Yes. Let me say that even if it is 2,000 people, do you know what 2,000 people can do? What I'm saying, my goal, is that number one, what are we in diaspora? I remember a lot of us blaming Nigerians back home that they have not done anything. They didn't do anything. They have to savage the country. The question is, they are not the only Nigerians. The last time I called, I made this point, and I made it strongly, that Ukrainians flew out from their comfort zone to go to a war front to fight for their country. They are the ones that are displaying that they love their country. We are just talking and talking and talking. Go to Twitter space. Talk, nothing. Let us start with your diaspora radio. What can we do to put resources together to make sure that this diaspora radio can be received anywhere in any corner of Nigeria? So that this message you are passing is not only for those who can subscribe, because I don't see anybody in Nigeria that can have data enough to watch your program for 1 hour.
You're right.
It's not possible. They don't have that money, and they will not be able to afford it. We have a free internet. My internet is unlimited. Even if I put your program and I go to sleep, I pay the same. That's one. Two, Nnamdi Kano is a guy. I did not believe in his ideology. But of course, the ideology is beginning to make sense. But he was able to create Biafra radio that people could listen to anywhere in Nigeria. People online, people, even with transistor radio, people can listen to it. Are we doing anything about that to promote your program, to get to a point where it's not only you, we put resources together? If you love Nigeria, all this time to come and talk and complete, we are like kids. If I am in the government, if I'm one of those elite, those political tips in Nigeria, I will not take any of you serious, because you talk today, you talk during election, you talk during the presidential election, and you are talking about the Supreme Court. We know that you are all talk and no action. You can't do anything. So by the time I listened to David Hude the other day, and there was a statement David Hude you made. He wrote something that people were asking him to go and investigate Mohbad's death. He said, all the investigation I've done before, and I've given to you for free. What have you done with it?
I give to
in fact, he called yes, he said that we are 200 million mannequins, and that is what we are. We are mannequins, because mannequins are people that look like human beings, but they can't move. They can't do anything. That's what we are. We will be talking, speaking grammar every day, and if care is not taken, and if we don't make any effort, government might go and pick that guy and
repeat itself and all that. See, I got all your message, Anthony. Okay,
right?
You know, sometimes. Sorry, please. Quickly.
For me to wrap up, I just want to wrap up quickly, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, what I'm looking forward to, before I even ever think of calling into a program, is, can we build a team? Can we build a team that can get enough people that can pay? I'm willing to, even if it's $1,000, if I think I love Nigeria, to build a team that these people are complaining that the political guys in Nigeria, they are not doing anything. They come abroad and they stay freely and go, and we don't do anything. Anybody who is not prepared to do this, and they are just calling to a program to talk, rail out all the problems we have in Nigeria, let them be stopped. Let us have a team, a group, paying members, people who are ready to fight for Nigeria. If we are 20,000, 10,000 people, let us put resources together and make sure that we need something tangible behind the scene, not based on what you are talking on the screen that everybody is seeing.
I get you.
Let us have anybody who is not a member, who is not paying, are ready to carry out this action as we want to plan it. If the person calls, you don't ask the person's name, go check it. If it's not there, you should not talk to you.
It should not come out so much. Okay.
I'm tired of all those
Sir Anthony, You see, your idea is always noble. But yeah, I'll say something on that while you listen, okay? Before I take my next step. But it's so noble of you to still pretty much push that line of argument. It is true that sometimes when it is time for actions, our people, sort of don't turn up the way it should. See, me, I've had experience of working with people on different on different sort of goals, okay? And when it comes to part of money, there is some darkest side of recruiting and fundraising that over time, I've kind of learned, and it is so dark that it can be very disappointing. There is something called consistency, okay? So it simply means that when you have something you are doing, for example, you can say, because I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, what can it be called? Nigerian Lives Matters, Nigeria Resist, or anything that is more kind of, should it be revolutionary? Should it be something, whatever is it going to be called? Then when you remember the framework of Nigeria, idea of how to fight and then end something you don't like politically is easily, or should I say, it's easily sold to most of us from the southern Nigeria. Okay, so we can easily buy into them. But if what Sir Anthony is suggesting is what I think it is, then it requires some level of consultations. You look for people of like minds, even in the diaspora, because it's going to be diaspora based, by the way, right? So you look for people of like minds, people who are not actually trying to use any medium as their own ticket of joining the bazaar, the stealing of, you know what I mean, in Nigeria, because I have seen a lot. I've seen where people show good intention for good purpose or goal, but their intention is only good because they just wanted to let that thing start so that they can use it as their own bargaining chip with all these criminals that we are indeed trying to group and then face. And don't be surprised that there are actually Nigerians abroad that are actually worse than the Nigerians who are political jobbers in Nigeria. These are people who think they are smart. They infiltrate every group. And if the group becomes so kind of prominent, they will use that as their own springboard to finally go and join the people that we all condemn. I've seen that a lot. So if you want something solid to happen, from my own experience, like Sir Anthony suggested, right? You will need people of like minds, people who have something in common. Look at David. David is living in exile, on asylum, due to his line of work, exposing the rotten government in Nigeria. So, but David is not the only person. There will be others too, across the place, who have either left Nigeria or looking forward to leaving Nigeria. There are some of you who've left a long time ago. Not that they are really looking for you anymore, but the reason why you left Nigeria when you are still so active fighting that injustice in Nigeria was to kind of escape any kind of persecution. But, well, you are abroad still, and now you've settled down abroad. So we need people of like minds, not people who are looking forward to go and join them in their government in Nigeria. So to have that, Sir Anthony, it can take a time. Okay, I'm speaking from my own experience dealing with other Nigerians. Okay, it can take time. But one thing is this: there are people who are ready. I agree with you. Just know that there are actually people who are ready. They just want a coordinated, organized kind of arrangement whereby they can say we have leadership. So, and you can get all these people who have this like minds at the end of the day, come up with something that is indeed attractive, universal, sort of. So I want all of us
not to always feel like we are not doing anything to push back all these people. I want you to always remember that you are on this platform like other people, because no matter how much or how tiring Nigeria is or how frustrating it has become, a lot of you are still interested in what you call the solution, even though my own primary solution is for us to break away and go. And I know that Nigeria, when Nigeria is going to break up, right, it's not going to just be like, we're just going to be like, oh yeah, you go. No, there are processes that will lead to that. And that is why, in the course of people understanding why something has to be done, in the process, they will probably volunteer to say, okay, how do we do it? Well, I love your energy, sir. Okay. And I want you to not always rule it out, like whether it's looking so slow or it's looking like not promising. One thing you should be very confident of is that there is a platform where people who feel the same way you feel exists. Okay. There is a platform where people are ready to kind of shield or forget their differences and look at whatever they have in common and how to get along and get over that, which brought you to this platform. So I always want you to remember that it is so valuable that you can start a conversation along your belief, and then you will see a lot of people who have similar belief like you, similar kind of line of thoughts. And then you begin to feel like this is a community. And I bet that's one of the reasons why you said we should utilize it now, build on it now, so that it won't be just talk. Don't see it that way, all right? Don't see it as talk. See it as a form of a journey of discovery. You will see a lot of people of like minds that will eventually form the resistance group that everybody will feel cool to associate with. Sir Anthony, don't ever give up on what you actually believe in, how you want it to be. It can happen. My primary philosophy in life at the time was that, if I can think something, then I can do it. So if we have more of Sir Anthony who are ready to fund and support a real movement that can stand the test of time, okay? And you won't be the only person who have actually spoken about that. I have a member of my own union who personally said, this is it. It is doable. We need something like this to true. We need a body as Nigerians, right? We need a body whereby at least in every city of the world, in every country of the world, okay, you'll be able to say, if you call out your members, our members, and you can be able to bring out tens of thousands of them out, and the whole country will recognize, they will recognize you and say, there is an organization. If they call for protest about Nigeria, you will see tens of thousands, not just 200, 500 people. They're talking about an organization that all of us are connected to, right? Have some connection with, right? And if they call out for anything at all, now that can be very powerful and intimidating, but you need people of like minds to build such. You don't want anybody to use you. That's even worse, okay? Imagine putting together an organization that is promising and all that, and then you realize that some of the people inside the whole thing, they were just hibernating. They were the friends of the criminals you think you want to fight. It's so complicated from my own experience, but don't ever think it's not going to happen. I strongly believe that it will. Hello there. Sorry for that long piece too. I just had to say it so that those who are listening to me will know that, of course. Baba, you there?
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my good.
Sorry for keeping you waiting. Now you
are
I
live. Can hear you,
please.
My good general.
Yes, sir. You need to mute the broadcast, okay? Or else it's going to be delayed and kind of, it's going to be so awkward for you, hearing your voice. Yeah. Mute the broadcast or just leave the room so you and I can talk and the rest can listen to us. So.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Very clearly, sir. Please.
Well, let me say this is my first time of calling this platform.
Oh, God bless you, sir. We have a ritual, right? For first-time callers, we just kind of say,
yes. But actually,
you always remember that. So, thank you so much.
But actually, this is not my first time of listening to you. I have been following you most times when I'm free. I'm an apostle by calling. I have my ministry here in Europe.
Oh, bless you,
and
sir.
Let me tell you, if we have 10 of you doing the right work, affecting people in Nigeria will turn around. I used to be very angry with Nnamdi Kano. You know, at some point, I changed my mind. I changed my mind, and this is the way I see you as an offshoot of this man. Although you have a different kind of philosophy sometimes, you know, let me say the truth.
Sir.
There is in the scripture, Jesus was with his disciples. He met a man called Nathanael, and he said to the people, Nathanael was not one of his disciples, but he said to the people, behold an Israelite in whom there is no guile. And let me say it right now to this platform,
sir.
To everybody listening to us right now. I say, behold a true Nigerian in whom there is no political guile. That's who you are. I'm telling you the truth. You know, religion, as Karl Marx made that statement, is the opium of the people.
You know,
I'm not, you know, this organized religion has killed a lot of us. I'm an apostle. I have my ministry. I want to remain anonymous for now, but I want to let you know, the last caller, the statement he made, I am one of the people that would donate for that. You listen, you are like someone who is caged. Your voice is not heard where it should be heard. We need something like, you know, whatever it is, you know, I'm not in that line, that will get to Nigeria, that will take you all over the country. If it is to make contribution, I will be one of them.
God bless you,
you know, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you have. You are a detribalized Nigeria. I have been watching, I've been looking at you. You remain consistent. Since any week I have time to listen to you, you remain consistent. And believe me, what you are doing, this is limited. I think something should be done. Your voice should be heard, and the way to analyze things, I am yet to see. I don't know, sometimes I say, God, if I'm in a position to buy this very whatever it is, device that will be able to cut across the Nigerian nation, I will do that. And I'm not doing it for you not to criticize me when I've done wrong.
I understand.
Because that's not who. Listen, the way the Western world is built is transparency.
Yes, sir.
I have been, you know, I was once vice president of African pastors here, and I don't want to mention the country. At a point, I told them, when they rise up to pray, I say, I don't want to join you in this prayer. Stop deceiving yourself. Don't deceive yourself. You are praying, and we know what to do. Why can't you encourage people? You know, you see the impunity, you see the corruption, you say, we are praying. And the last time after the election, some of them said, let the will of God be done. I said, you don't know God. If
don't
you know God, if you know
God, you are actually you know what they do, sir. It's your line. You know, I'm so happy that you're actually uttering all of this, okay? Because I do my best to make sure that people understand the difference between people trying to manipulate you using God in order to not take responsibility for their action. So when people do that, they are insulting God, okay? They are not in any way praising or even making people who are unbelievers to believe in that God. It's manipulative. And it's the same.
That's right.
You know that, sir? So I'm glad that you are saying similar thing right now. And I'm all here. Please continue.
That's right. That's right. Do you know, sir?
Yes, sir.
You know, many of us do not know. I keep telling some of my pastor friends and my colleagues, I keep telling them, those in Nigeria, I say, a time will come, you think you are being, maybe some of you think this is the way to please God. To some of you, you know you are just manipulating people.
You know.
Some, they are sincerely wrong. I can assure you that some of them, they mean well. Some of them are very sincere. But that idea of let's keep praying, I tell them, I say, you say let's keep praying, but look at you. You want to get a work. You will get down on your knees after praying. The next morning you carry your curriculum, you move out, you go to submit for the work. But when it comes to Nigeria, and Mayogo, let me tell you, I know you are not in that line, but I can assure you, this is what we see every day. My family, I have seen miracles, I have seen God heal my child. But now, let me tell you, sir, in case you don't know this, some of these men of God you're hearing, some of them actually have certain level of power. But have you asked yourself why sometimes they will pray for people who are sick, they will receive their healing, but when they pray for Nigeria, it will not work? You know why?
Why, sir?
It's because we are not ready for the nation. The passion is not there. We are just playing. We are just imagine some people who claim they are holy. People preach holiness, but you'll be supporting an evil government, supporting someone you know that
confusing
is not credible.
People, misleading people, so that they will not be able to form opinion about them. Sad.
That is right. 8 years ago, I told a pastor, I said to him, when he said, let's pray, I said, for now, I'm not joining. If this is your mindset for prayer, I know it's not going to work. I said that 8 years ago, they said that God will shame me. They said that God will, that I'm a sadist. I said, okay, watch it. We will know who is really a prophet. After that was 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I said,
so you got vindicated even before the end of that 8 years, didn't you?
Yes. I say, if things get better after these 8 years, we will know. Now, some of them, they don't talk again. When I tell them, I say, I told you before, this thing is not a rocket science.
It's not.
It's very simple. Do you know in Europe?
God, it's in the Bible that God will not do what is already empowered us to do.
Thank you.
He won't do. God will not do a man's job. A man will never do God's
job.
Everybody will do theirs.
Yes. God is waiting for us to do what we are waiting for God to do. That's what sometimes He waits for us to do what we are waiting for Him to do. Here in the Western world, when the government messes up, when the government manipulates rig election, I can assure you, the evangelicals or even the Catholics, like some in Rome, in Italy, in Spain, they will pray like 10 minutes, but they will come out and mash out, call their members, mash out. Protest everywhere. In Nigeria, they will fast for 7 days, dry fasting. Nobody will mash out. Why are we deceiving ourselves? We're not ready to build a nation. So, in cutting this thing short, I am just saying something. I am ready. Anyhow we can promote and project, anyhow we can make this voice I'm hearing to be heard all over Nigeria. This Mayogo, this man is very honest. Forget about someone, maybe he's not acting religiously, but I can tell you that this man is a voice that God has chosen for the country. Some of you don't know this. Forget about your tribal sentiment. If this man, anyhow we can support the last speaker to contribute for something. I know it was once done with Kano stuff or whatever, but now it's for Nigeria. Let the common man, because Mayogo, let me assure you, none of them is ready. Majority of them, average Nigeria cannot buy data and spend it for 5 minutes listening to you right now. You can't do that. Can't do that. So we need something like radio.
When my last caller was talking about diaspora radio, something popped up in we are having this kind of a leadership meeting with the union I belong to just yesterday on Sunday. And I was like, hang on, I could actually have somebody develop the app whereby you don't need data to listen to my voice. Once you download the app, all you have to make sure of is that when you want to listen without data, you should just go to the recorded or the replay of anything I say. Yeah. And I was like, I could do that, even though it's quite cost effective to build and all of that. But that could actually be something instead of going to the radio, this radio, that a lot of people have their phones in Nigeria. And now that somebody mentioned it again tonight, I think I'm going to go bring that up and I'm going to push that to everybody to let everybody know what I need to get that done.
Put it out, whatever be the cost, let us know.
It is going to be very cheaper than expected.
Don't be bothered. Let's, whatever be the price, God will bring people to fund it.
I know. Thank you so much.
At least what I'm telling you, man, you know that people are following you from behind. Without you know, you have followers. Thank you so much, Michael.
God bless you for this, and I appreciate you. So keep it there, and then don't ever stop calling in, okay? I think I need people like you to also help me address a certain part of my own audience to know that when I speak about these people who are using the name of God to deceive people, I am not targeting anybody's faith, anybody's religion. These guys are using that to hoodwink you, and I'm not going to look away. So when I have people like you on, it makes it easier, okay? So thank you so much for that.
It's all right.
And should have a good one, sir.
I will.
Good night. Now, again, he is going to be my own last caller. Olori, you know you can't stop watching me. I know how it can be sometimes, right? That it is pointless. It is hopeless. And Nigeria is never going to give us something to actually be like, okay, yeah, let's see how it's going to be, yeah? But nevertheless, even watching me helps you to understand why or how you undo your disappointment and the rest of that with Nigeria. It does help. You know you can't stop watching me, right? So, and eventually we are going to have something that's going to share us up, all of us up, more than what it is right now. There's going to be a time that we're actually going to be fighting back better than what you can imagine. People are ready. They need direction, of course. And at the same time, they need consistency. Consistency is the key. And I am glad that I have that on my own CV. I am very consistent and also contented with the help and support of a lot of you who have always been there for me. I can't thank you enough. You know that. So I have no reason but to keep it up. So thank you, and thank you to all of us, okay? As a family, sometimes it's more like somebody said, my caller said earlier, that you can listen to Mayegun even all alone. You know, you can be somewhere and you can just, and it's in a way, it has a way it works on all of us. So when people say, oh, I miss Mayegun, I can't, I mean, you know, I'm so sad that you didn't come on last night. I'm like, well, you know something? Whenever you miss Mayegun, even me, I do miss Mayegun too, which means I miss this. When I'm not here and I'm doing something else, there's always going to be a time that I'm going to feel like I am missing something, that I'm missing you. But above it all, remember what I said to all of us. Nothing remains the same. If you know better, you do better. And if people say they are or they want to, it is ideal to give everybody that chance to try it. This new idea of a diaspora movement that includes everyone from everywhere, that gives everyone that identity, something that you can be like a fight before the fight. I like it. I like it. But from my own experience, I'm also always very careful before I put my own face, my name, into anything these days. Because there are so many chances, opportunists. People just want to use you. Use what you are doing to get to wherever they are going. And at the end of the day, you find yourself doing so many shalaye. And you'll be like, didn't you know them? I thought you were all together. I said, but it's not like that. That is why I'm going to advise all of us to not always see it as all talk. In the process, we are figuring out what can be done and when should it be done. So let's keep it that way. And thank you to everyone. I will see you some other time. Olori, Charity, I hope you will have a better night this evening, okay? Don't take it to heart. Nigeria no go hand us, okay? Nigeria will not see our hand. Now we go see the end of Nigeria. So stay strong. And to Latu Aruna, you see, I know why Latu actually dropped that. Latu Aruna is from the middle belt part of Nigeria, if I am not mistaken. Okay, and is not always happy. Okay, that individual is not always happy. That I always feel like there are no people following Mayegun's diary political from the northern part of Nigeria. And I said, no, I never thought that. Now, Latu will be one of those that would actually jump on the chip that says Nigeria resists. all Nigerians resist. I'm just saying that whatever the name is, there are people who are ready. But yes, we will get there. So thank you so much, everyone. Don't leave without liking the broadcast, okay? You can still like it if you haven't already. So that when I come next time, it's going to be a new day again. So, good night, everyone, from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.